Namaste, angels. This is the weekly love reading for the period of Sunday 8/8 through Saturday to come 8/14. We are starting with the King of Cups. Again, I think did I start with this before? If I didn't start with it, he showed up for sure in the love reading. I'm sorry, in the general reading. He is warm-hearted, devoted, loving, and faithful. A trustworthy person or relationship enters your life. You may receive wise and compassionate advice from someone who speaks directly from the heart. And behind that is the Wheel of Fortune. So in a general sense, the Wheel of Fortune is about like our luck turning around. And it's usually for the better because, most people, because of the way life is, we're coming from a mundane place or maybe a not so pleasant place in our lives, and we're growing, constantly growing, getting better. I don't really know anybody that's at the top already and can afford to go down. But the Wheel of Fortune could be that too. Like if you are, it's a reversal of fortune. So you could go down if you like that. But again, for the most part, this is going to be a sudden increase in positivity in people's lives. And that's the general meaning. Not necessarily connected specifically to your love life, but if your life turns around and, for the better, then, that will certainly impact your love life. The wheel represents the planet Jupiter and the sign of Sagittarius, which Jupiter rules, but also the fixed signs, of which Scorpio is one, right? This water sign could be potentially a Scorpio, Cancer, or Pisces, or someone like into those traits or attributes. In addition to Scorpio, Leo is also tied to Jupiter in the wheel as a fixed sign, as is Taurus and Aquarius. Behind the wheel, speaking of Jupiter and this fire energy, Sagittarius, we have the Ace of Wands, an exciting new opportunity, career advancement, change your life now. So wands are about movement and often in the area of your work or career, and or travel. But, of course, it can be connected to getting the wand as well. Sexuality. Speaking of that, that reminds me I didn't do the dice. Let's do that now. All right, so we're starting with Weekend Away, buy shoes, and try again. Spirit says, cocktail. No. Looks like I spilled my coffee on that one. And stay in bed. Maybe stay in bed, again, connected to sex or sexuality. Some interesting stuff came up with that in the general reading, so you may want to check that out if you have not already. From the fortune teller's deck, we have Lion, which again I'm connecting to Leo, especially with today being 8/8. In the middle of the Lion's Gate, we have this 8/8 energy. Harness the loyal and protective aura of the lion and charge ahead magnificently. More importantly than the 8/8, because again, it's not 8/8 like the true one that we experienced in 2015. It's 8/8/5, but today is also the new moon in Leo, so I think that's pretty interesting. Again, we have the lion here, and this King of Cups, he can be somebody, whether he's a direct water sign or not. He can be somebody, or whether he's a Leo or not, who is particularly protective or makes you feel safe. My own divine masculine. I don't talk about him often, because I'm just really disgusted with all the work that a lot of us put in and what has become of the whole twin flame thing. And I saw it coming. I saw the writing on the wall, so I tried to pull away from the superficiality and commercialness that I saw developing behind it. But with people falling into that whole bracket, I feel like it really took us back. And so I just get annoyed, and I don't, like I said, don't talk about it, twin flame in terms of twin flame journey or my own divine masculine much. But although he's like a small man, very, very strong, very, very muscular, very, very athletic, but small frame, I just always said to him, like, I don't know, I just felt, and I'm not small, I've always been, you know, tall for a woman, fairly tall for a woman, also really, really thick these days, also maybe even fat, not just thick. But I'd always been really, really thick and really, and like I said, tall for a woman. So just like a big girl, a big like country girl. And he, even as a small man, just always made me feel like really protected and safe, and like nothing could go wrong, and just really comfortable. Like, you can let your hair down. I don't have to worry about, and I couldn't tell you why exactly. Like, not like anything happened that I would have to put my finger on, and say, oh, it was this moment that, changed everything for me, made me feel that way about him. It was just a very organic and natural feeling. And perhaps, because of his very natural, King of Cups energy, as a direct water sign, as a Scorpio. That is possible. But I think anybody could experience this week, that sort of generosity and romanticism and protection, just a feeling of safety, and maybe even some bravery, maybe even some people stepping forward where they'd been in the shadows, they'd been afraid and been, tossing it back and forth, whether or not they could shed their ego and shake it off and maybe apologize or forgive and come back and all that kind of stuff. But, we are called to harness the loyal and protective aura of the lion and to charge ahead magnificently. And the new moon gives us opportunity for new energy and new, opportunities in our life. So I think that's really possible. All right, put him back, put that back. The next card was the World, but it's in reverse. These are the cards that I meant to pull out last week when I pulled these out. So I said, let me go ahead and use both of them. These are not called fortune teller. Maybe that's what my mind was saying. Like, oh, you want the fortune teller cards? That's these. These are called fortune cookies. But anyway, I remembered them this week. We got them out. We're starting with society. And you know what? In the general reading, I pulled one for each sign individually, and I believe this was Scorpios. So there could be something going on. Why would there be? Perhaps because of Mars, ruler of Scorpio in part, as well as that of Aries, of course. The action planet. Maybe that's another reason why there's the water joined, like in tandem with the fire. Possibly. In any case, say yes to all the wonderful invitations coming your way. Excellent networking opportunities. So again, something could change in your career or work, which would affect your love life perhaps, as well as just love interest, love energy also coming your way, particularly for singles, will be the result if you, go out and mingle. With the Rider-Waite deck. Oh, look at that. We're beginning with the Knight of Wands. So more Wands energy for one thing. That's not what made me say, oh, look at that, though. I'll tell you in a second. Knight of Wands is potentially an Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, so someone like into those traits or attributes. For me, Knights are about action, like pages bring the news or of the opportunity or the information, and the Knights do something with it. So this would be an opportunity is presented, and like, what are you going to do? You got a choice to make, an action to take, something to pursue, maybe in connection to not only love or relationship, but a water sign, and more specifically a Scorpio. Queen of Cups is most directly related to the energy of Scorpio, although she can also be a Cancer or Pisces, of course, as well as someone who's not a water sign at all. Any of the other signs, that's cool too. She is romantic. She is nurturing. She sometimes forgets to take care of herself, though. And the reason I said, oh, look at that, is because here's another Wheel of Fortune. This one's in reverse, but the Wheel of Fortune is one of those cards that, like, reverse just means the strength is sort of lessened. So maybe something good will happen, but, not as you won't view it as much as like a grand miracle as you may, with it having been upright. That's the only difference. But it's pretty cool that in both cases we got the water, we got the fire, and we got the Wheel of Fortune. The next card is the Star, but it's in reverse. So we'll pull one overall kind of card from the Rider-Waite deck for each element, and then I think we'll pull maybe for each sign some individuals from here and see the love energy we come up with. So let's start with these. You know what? I want to give a little shuffle in front of you guys. This is from when I shuffled. Let's see what happens if I do it again. Still seeing a lot of Wands of Fire and Cups. Look what just fell away. The Two of Cups, the Page of Cups, the Seven of Cups. So again, like a decision to make as it relates to love, maybe. Is the night going to take action or not? I also was feeling, like I said, maybe somebody getting the courage to finally do something like that, to make some sort of move. So we'll see. Three Swords in reverse. I think last week it was upright with the Four of Swords behind it, and then this card, right? Was that last week's? I believe so. In any case, it's in reverse this week, so getting over some sort of pain, separation, break up. Again, maybe he's returning, maybe that's how, or she's returning, maybe that's how you get over it. You have strength. In reverse, though, the strength card can kind of mean like we're not making use of all the strength and power, that's available to us. We got a lot more that we could sort of draw from. For the fire signs, we have the Knight of Pentacles upright. This is Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. And the Knight of Pentacles himself may actually be an earth sign, a Taurus, Virgo, a Capricorn, or someone like him to those traits or attributes. For the earth signs themselves, we have Major Arcana card, the Magician in reverse. Magician represents the energy of Gemini most directly. We do have Mercury entering Virgo this week, so perhaps that is why. Earth signs, of course, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. For the air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, our card is Justice, which represents the sign of Libra most directly. So one of our fellow air signs there. And the planet Venus, of course, which is Libra's ruler. And last but not least, for the water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, their card is the Four of Wands in reverse. So I talked about somebody getting their just due, and it was in connection to the Three of Swords and the Ten of Swords, as well. We saw a myriad of other cards, too, during that reading, but I remember holding those two up together, and I'm pretty sure it was last week's love reading. So maybe there is a shift forward from that this week. What I'm really feeling about all the cards is the yellow. Do you see the yellow in each and every one of the cards that we pulled for each element? Well, attached to what I was talking about, or relating to what I was talking about, yellow is actually a card that can speak about growth, like Jupiter, the planet of growth and expansion, optimism, luck tied to Jupiter, and also like having the strength to take the next step. That energy of Leo that we've been talking about, the strength, taking the next step, moving forward is one of the things I said I was feeling coming out of here. It can also be about, maybe it's about the solar plexus chakra, and that's our gut, that area. A lot of people say, I have gut feelings. A lot of people believe that the soul is located there. That's why our stomach sinks when we get, that sinking feeling when we're concerned about something, or when we're excited, we can get butterflies in our stomach. It doesn't show up in another part of your body. It shows up in your stomach, is where you feel all of these things when you get messages. So people say, that's where our soul is. In any case, the third chakra could definitely be why we have all this yellow. Also, yellow can be about issues of ego. So, like I said, maybe there was somebody afraid in ego. I'm just thinking about that in connection to the Three of Swords. I'm thinking third chakra, Three of Swords. Maybe there's a tie there. Also, yellow is representative of the energy of fire. Did I mention that one? And it can really have to do with like will. So as in like free will, or to go ahead and make a decision, a choice, as it seems that some of us will have to do this week. Optimism, just positivity. I don't know. I think that the yellow is speaking to us. You can, let me know. Feel free to drop that in the comments or hit me up or whatever if you get anything else out of the yellow that I didn't mention. I know it can also be about like warmth, like the warmth of the sun. Honesty is also associated with yellow. Anyway, moving on to the Three of Swords in reverse, which is kind of gray. It's like grayish blue. Gray can actually be a color of balance, which justice can be about too. It's like a sort of like a neutral color, considered like a neutral color, gray. Anyway, moving on to specifically the Three of Swords, because I'm just like, I could go off on a whole tangent, right? As I mentioned, it's about sadness and sorrow, misunderstandings, arguments, breaks and breakups. Maybe a relationship recently ended. Maybe a relationship that you thought would come together by now has not, and you just got to allow yourself to go through whatever it is that comes up, like pain or whatever feelings you experience to come up. Just allow yourself to experience them and move through it and move on, which it looks like we're doing. Again, we're going from this bluish, grayish, whatever, to this yellow, which is a representative of joy and optimism and growth. So going ahead and moving forward. Starting with the Knight of Pentacles for the fire signs specifically, and sun, moon, and rising. You could, like I might look at for myself, this one, and yeah, that's it. I'm a double air sign and fire. I'm a Leo rising, an Aquarius moon, and a Gemini sun. So I might look at those two. Anywho, getting on with it. So the Knight of Pentacles is this like dependable energy, right? Earth signs in general are, at least for me. People might say, oh, like you stand the Earth sign so much. Probably. I do, respect their like dedication and commitment to pretty much everything that they put themselves into, they put their minds to completing. And that's the way the Knight of Pentacles is looked at in the tarot too. It's like he's the only knight that's considered to always like reach his goal, he's definitely going to follow through. You can count on him. And that's what this knight represents as it relates to love too. It's like a dependable kind of energy. There's a recognition that true love, even true love can't last without a willingness to like work together through any rough patches and to really just commit to upholding our commitments. Can that have negative connotations too? Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, anything done in the extreme, even good stuff, like we can even drink too much water. Water is really good for you, yeah, but you can have too much, you can drown, dry drown, So even something that's positive and good, you can't, you can OD on too many vitamins. And we need vitamins; they're good for us, yes, but too many of them is not good. So I just think like pushing yourself to an extent that you're committed to remaining in a relationship that's toxic or abusive to you, that's not so good. But just working out little kinks and trouble and not giving up at the first debate. I definitely respect that about earth signs. And this could be you looking at it in relation to the Three of Swords, maybe having had one of those negative experiences and decided, no, I'm going to fix this. I'm going to, return or stick it out or whatever, do what I need to do. Again, it's about a willingness to work with the other partner. If you're single and looking, and this card is coming up for you, then you probably need to do something out of the ordinary. So not be so predictable, in earth sign like, but maybe go somewhere you don't normally go. So, you don't normally go to a lounge or club, or bar, but maybe do that, maybe go ahead and just socialize with friends. Remember the society card that we started with from the fortune cookies? So something like that, getting out and, um, having some fun and allowing yourself to meet new people. Moving on to the earth signs themselves and the magician. So the magician reverse can indicate that we're like losing faith in ourselves and our ability to attract like new love or real love, true love. If we're single, well, I was going to say if we're single, this has to be stopped. But anybody who is like negative thinking, negative talking themselves, it has to stop, not just singles. But I started to say singles because definitely if you're out there trying to meet people, and date and stuff, if you're, again, thinking negatively or talking negatively or down, about yourself, then that's going to affect your ability to attract people or to meet people at all. I mean, it's just working against the law of attraction. We know how the law of attraction works, right? You put out energy. You can put out positive energy, you can put out negative energy. If you're putting out negative energy about yourself, then you're going to have a negative result. So, yeah, you guys definitely got to stop it. But anybody, again, that is down in themselves should stop. And if you're in a committed relationship, then there could be something that you want or need out of the relationship that you just feel is missing, and you have a hesitancy like to talk about it. And it's time to be brave enough to communicate your needs. I actually know an earth sign male, a Virgo, who has a lot of kinks and stuff. People talk to me, he's a sexual person. His wife apparently is not. I don't know what her sign is. And so, he's like miserable all the time as it relates to sex. That's this kind of thing. And maybe that's what I was thinking. Remember I said that some energies came up and in the general connected to sex and stuff. Maybe that's one of them. Yeah. If it's like that kind of whatever it is, but I'm using this sex thing as a an example. The marriage is together. It's been several years, and they appear to be monogamous and loyal to each other. But what does that mean if you're like miserable? You're not having sex at all because you're not having the kind you like, or you know, and just sort of like going through the motions and faking it. People deserve more than being born, growing up a little, going off to work, working themselves, as hard as they can, maybe having a little sex in between and dropping dead. We deserve to be as happy as possible. And again, these energies, these cards, representative of the universe, has a desire for us to be happy. It's sending us all this yellow and stuff. So, definitely, make use of that lion energy and be brave enough to put some things on the table. And you may be surprised. Like you may be thinking that, and she's not into the kinks and stuff like that. maybe she was embarrassed to say that she was, because you never said you were that, to that degree. And so just get it out there. Um, I also just got something really quickly about, like LGBTQ. What was that? I mean, I guess similarly, people could be afraid to say, I'm bisexual, I'm gay, um, and to just put that out there too. Especially in a committed relationship. Like sometimes people enter relationships not as their whole selves, and they got something to tell you, but they're afraid that if they do, then you won't like them as much as you do, or you won't love them as much as you do. And of course, if we truly love somebody, something that they tell us, if they're the same person, they just have like a different label, that shouldn't necessarily change it. If we're just in like, or we're just dating, no promises. You tell somebody that you basically lied to them, or at least by omission, and that may be enough to piss them off. Especially if it's a Gemini or somebody like that you're dealing with. We don't like that. We definitely like honesty, even if it's something that you think is bad. Like I meet a guy, I'd rather him tell me, yeah, I'm gonna cheat on you. I'm gonna have other women or whatever. I'll treat you like this or whatever, and let me decide. Oh, you know what? I think I can deal with that. We can rock it out and see how it goes. Or no, that's not for me. Let me tell you, like, go ahead and be honest, and no hard feelings. You know what I'm saying? Um, so if he's dealing with a real magician, it's not going to work, or he or she. All right, moving on to us air signs. Speaking of us. And Major Arcana card Justice, as I mentioned before, can definitely be about balance. If we're in a long-term relationship when this card shows up and we're questioning whether or not to stay with our partner, like, can I do this? Do I want to try this or whatever? It's very, very possible that we will choose to just part ways. Like we'll decide it's the end of the road. On the other hand, sort of like to the contrary, if you're single, then this is a time when commitment could be coming your way, really, really soon. So it's about staying clear again and open about what it is you want from a relationship, and then you're likely to find that. Law of attraction again. What are you putting out? That's what you can draw in. You're putting out positive energy, and you want a reciprocal relationship that's balanced and in true love. Then focus on that. Don't focus on negative stuff. And moving on to the water signs, the Four of Wands in reverse can be an indication also of a deepening of commitment in the very near future, like up to and even including marriage. And for some people it could be like it could be a shock, it could be a surprise. Maybe you weren't expecting somebody to propose. That might be why the Wheel of Fortune has shown up twice. I know, like the first time I was proposed to, I was really shocked, and one of the reasons I was really shocked was because we had broken up, and I had moved on, and I had a new boyfriend, and I was not expecting my ex to show up out of nowhere and propose to me. So I'm not saying it's going to be something like that, but there are ways that you can unexpectedly be proposed to and not realize that your relationship is there, or the other party feels the relationship is there. What else? You may have actually a wedding or some other sort of special event. Remember, society being social, right? You may have some sort of event to attend, whether you're single or in a relationship. But especially if you're single, make sure you go. Definitely make it a point to go. Just I think this card said the same thing, right? It said if you get the opportunities and go. Say yes to all the wonderful invitations coming your way. Excellent networking opportunities and new love interests for singles will be the result. So, this is doubling down on that. So maybe especially the water signs. And we started out with the water signs, the King of Cups, the Queen of Cups. So maybe especially for you guys, don't say no to any any invitations from anybody that you like, know and trust to be around, because you could definitely meet the love of your life at somebody else's wedding or something, especially if you're thinking positively. I'm realizing I did not shuffle the other cards. I want to do that at least a little. And I think I won't do each sign because I just also remembered I have to do a moon reading. So I think I'll just do one of these cards, the other decks, again for each element. Just the top what we have here for additional messages. I stopped on Wish, which is a card of, again, luck, optimism, positivity, good outcomes. Look, it's Wish. There was other cards that were going to be here, and I put them back here. So now the Aries is going to get them. The fire signs are going to get them. Maybe the earth signs too. It's like one or two, maybe three. Anyway, let's do it. The Chariot is your card, fire signs. Charge ahead with confidence. Stay strong and focused. So again, the Knight is an action card, and you are being guided to take action, and to go ahead, charge ahead on your horse. Here's more horses here. Charge ahead on your horse toward, the action that you need to take, that you're guided to take. Earth signs, Mountain. Know that you're protected as you face challenges, but remain cautious. So I think the challenge is with yourself, again, it's about you not feeling your full glory and capacity. So it's about, turning that around. But even during that kind of time, that kind of period in your life, you are still protected, and there's still like guides and angels and ancestors and whatnot around you. And, and 3D people too, that you can get support from. Air signs. Our card is Moon. Pay attention to your intuition at this time and move ahead confidently. And last but not least, the water signs. Your card is, look, boom, 4 of Wands and the Marriage card. And it was coming out in reverse, but there's no reversals in this deck, so I turned it upside down. I turned it right side up, but it was going to be in reverse, just like your 4 of Wands in reverse. You're attracting emotional fulfillment and unconditional love. Somebody could definitely get a proposal this week, particularly a water sign, or from a water sign. Or if it's not a proposal, like a water sign could return unexpectedly and surprise you. They're back, they love you, and that kind of thing. Or that could happen to a water sign. Maybe in connection with an earth sign. You see they both got the purple, and these two in the middle got the blue. From the other tarot decks, I'll have to move these back a little more still, because there's so many of these. This is also giving me it's kind of like indicative of the air and earth, of the Mercury and Virgo. The mountain, and it's like all this air here. And then there's all these trees. Mercury and Virgo was actually a positive transit. I talk about it at the end of the general reading, where I always talk about those things if you're interested. It's the Emperor, followed by the Queen of Swords, So the Emperor is again, and it's Mars. Remember I said I was feeling Mars? It's Mars, ruler of the signs of Aries and Scorpio. I do believe Mars may be located in Leo. I'm trying to recall. I'm going to say that it is. I'm like 99% sure that Mars is located in Leo. But there's been so much movement. But I think the last one that moved with the M was Mercury. And again, Mercury's moving again into Virgo this week. Okay. Fire signs. You got more pentacles. It's the Three of Earth. Three of Pentacles. The power of creativity, recognition for very high quality work. Be a team player. So for me, this card is about abundance that is earned. You are deserving. You are worthy of this that's coming toward you. Also, it may require some patience for the love to like really jump off. This can be more of a slow sort of getting to know you, maybe flirting for a while before we actually take it there. This can also be connected to meeting somebody or dealing with somebody, dating someone, being involved with somebody from your job or through your work that you met through your work. And of course, potentially something having to do with a, what I call a party of three, which isn't necessarily like a threesome, like, three love interests or, two people involved with the same person. But sometimes there's a third energy from elsewhere, a family member or somebody's work or something that is also like a block, serves as a block in your relationship to the growth. For the earth signs themselves, it's the Nine of Swords. You guys are really like worrying and want you to pick up your energy. Expecting the worst. Like, I'm never gonna meet anyone. No one likes me. I don't know what's wrong. I don't attract anybody. I don't attract real love. I don't attract real relationships. Everyone leaves. We always break up. Whatever it is you're saying to yourself, stop it. This is about expecting the worst, self-fulfilling prophecies. That's what I was talking about, like manifesting the negativity. That's the self-fulfilling prophecy. Also, this can be about sleepless nights. So you guys got to work on yourselves this week, and just picking up your positivity. Maybe do some morning affirmations. Reminding yourself how wonderful you are. Moving on to the air signs, joining Moon and Justice. Right. We have Major Arcana card 0, the Dreamer, and this card, specifically this card in this deck, the Dreamer, which is actually the Fool in the traditional tarot, Major Arcana card 0. This card has always, this is like my third deck of these cards, and like I use them until I ride them till the wheels fall off, and then I usually give them to somebody else because like my energy's all in them, and sometimes it helps for somebody to be able to pick up more messages when I pass down my cards to them. So anyway, this is like my third or fourth deck of these, and from the first deck that I had, the card reminded me of Mercury, and I would always say, like, don't ask what that means because I really can't tell you yourself, but it feels like Mercury. Of course, Mercury is the ruler of the signs of Gemini and Virgo, so it sort of makes sense here. A leap of faith, follow your dreams, that can lead to unexpected opportunities. So we're being asked to be courageous too and brave and like just follow that solar plexus, those feelings that we get, those inclinations. Pay attention to them, because our other card says pay very close attention to your intuition, right? Our moon here. And justice can be a message, a similar message too. Pay attention to the inclinations, also signs, synchronicities, just all of it. And then don't be afraid to go ahead and follow through. And last but not least, again, for the water signs, you got another 4. This one's an interesting 4. It's a 4 of Swords. 4 of Swords for me can be a few different things. A decision that you're needing to make, and again, maybe deciding where do you want to go with the relationship, where do you want to take it, or maybe your decision is yes or no to a marriage proposal. can also be about a need for a break or rest, or maybe you're coming off of a break or rest. This is like following that Three of Swords, so this is you recovering, restoration, getting stronger again. Also, sometimes for me, it would be kind of out of place here, I think, maybe in this reading, or I'm not receiving the message yet. Otherwise, but it can be preceding a Six of Swords. Like sometimes I'll see the Four of Swords, and then a few minutes later, or right after, sometime after, um, I'll get the Six of Swords, and this is about like planning a vacation maybe, or a getaway, break together, likely. And then the Six is you actually going. The Six of Swords is actually like taking, going somewhere, even if it's like local travel. So those are possibilities. Recovery, restoration, decision. And then last but not least, in terms of the cards, these guys. All right, what do we got? We got manifestation on the bottom. This is perfect. That's what I've been talking about the whole time. A bountiful time awaits you. Your wishes could manifest right before your eyes. Amen. Then it's followed by assert yourself, signs, like signs and synchronicities, travel, perseverance, intuition, all the things we've been talking about. Luck. That's the last one. The next one is in reverse. Okay, so put this back like this. So maybe pull it out. Where was it most in focus? I think I messed it up. But I hope you can see these. So for the fire signs, the first card is future. You may travel or host an overseas traveler soon. Either way, great social fun awaits. And you know what? You got the Chariot here. That can definitely be a card of travel, movement, maybe for work specifically, and that may be how you meet somebody too. Earth signs. Friendship. A friend needs your help. Your kindness and excellent counseling skills will put them back on track. Maybe somebody needs you to remind them how wonderful they are too. Why you're doing it for yourself. You might have the capacity, opportunity to do it for somebody else too. Maybe having realized it in your own life, you recognize it and you give them a little pick-me-up. That's what I'm getting for you guys. Air signs. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Our card is romance. Oh. Love is set to sizzle. The chance for romance is high for those seeking a connection. And again, we're guided to go ahead and go for it. But pay attention to your intuition. Don't just jump into something that may not be right for you. But if it feels right, and you got those gut feelings that it's right, then jump at it. Don't hesitate. Last but not least, water signs. Your card is care is required. It could be something connected to this Four of Swords. This can be about restoration, recovery. Care is required. Guard yourself against deception and be careful of making foolish mistakes at this time. Maybe marrying the wrong person, jumping into something, moving too quickly. I don't know. It'll be different for everybody. And maybe for some it won't apply, it won't resonate. But for those for whom it does, I hope you enjoyed the reading, and I'm happy to have been able to provide these answers for you. Please do like, share, subscribe, and comment. I will be back with the new moon in Leo reading. Namaste.